Welcome to the Mindset by Design podcast with your host and NLP expert, Andy Murphy, where you will learn the tips, tricks, and strategies he teaches his world-class clients to give you the skills to dominate any business.
What's going on, Mindset by Design crew, and welcome to episode 396. Hope you are amazing as always. Always say it, always mean it, and I especially mean it today. We are on the 28th of December. Yes, just over Christmas, just before the new year. We're about to step in 2023, which is some futuristic crazy shit, but hey, we're here. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. Whatever it is that's been going on in your life, I really hope that you've taken some time to just step back, sit back, ponder, play in your imagination, get clear on what you want for 2023, get clear of what you don't want from 2022. And today, what I want to do is go through my top 10 realizations from this year. I've done these over the years, but it really is brilliant because I get to look back, and I'm sure you do too, and I'm sure you're going to relate to lots of these things today. Because as a digital entrepreneur, we want one thing, right? It's freedom. Yeah, it's money, yeah, but all of those things, but it's freedom, right? And we get so caught up in other people's belief systems of what freedom really is, right? So I've had a heck of a crazy year. I really have. I've got rid of 2 development companies, 2 different business partners this year. It's been a little wild ride, right? So when I reflect and look back, it comes from a lot of wisdom, a lot of growth. And everything that's happening, even the last month, has been beautiful. It's been amazing. Life has been intense. I'm sure it has for a lot of you listening. But it's been worth it. And the lessons and growth that I've had over 2022 is going to allow me to step into 2023 in a whole different way, a much easier way, a much simpler way, a better way for my life. Do you know what I mean? And that means I can serve so many other people. That's the thing, right? So one of the key things I'm going to be jumping on is the podcast. I'm going to be growing this exponentially. We do a good amount of downloads a month, but I'm going to want to double those things. And I'm also going to be getting on a ton of other people's podcasts. So if you're listening to this and got a podcast going, message me. I will more than likely come on. I'm on a mission this year to get on as many podcasts as I can. So huge ones to medium sized to small, it doesn't matter. I am all about getting on them. So if you are involved in digital entrepreneurism at any level, could be Amazon, Shopify, Spotify, you could be coaching, you could be anything in between. If you're selling something online and growing a business and you want to grow it more, then yeah, let's have a chat. I'd love to come on your show. So speaking of podcasts, let's get to this one, right? So what I said is I'm going to go through my top 10 realizations, ahas, perspective changes, whatever the heck you want to call them, from 2022. So I hope you can relate to these. I really do. One more thing before we jump in. Yeah, it's a quick intro today. I'd want you to head over to andymurphy.online or head over to unfairadvantage.online and go and get your performance system. For digital entrepreneurs looking to automate, scale, and ultimately exit their business at some point, then this is definitely for you. If you're in a growth phase right now and you really want to make sure that you're going to perform like a Jedi at this next level, then this is for you, right? If you're in a rut right now, if you want to explode into 2023, then this is for you, right? So make sure, because I'm doing lots of free. I've got a training coming up in a couple of weeks. It's pretty badass. I'm actually going to take people through some live coaching, and just really a lot of the basis of what I do for someone on their first session. Well, I want to show you what I do, and it's going to be free. It's going to be inside the Facebook group. So get over there. Links in the show notes. Go and find them. Let's hang out. Sound good? Beautiful, beautiful. I just really hope that this year's been all that you wanted it to be. And if not, I just really want to help you get to where you want to be in 2023. That's all this is about. It's all it's about. I just want to help you become that ultimate version of you, because I know if you do that, then you will get what you want. It's just that simple. Okay? So let's jump in. Episode 396. And let's jump in and let's discover my top 10 hacks for 2023. And I'll see you at the end of the show. Okay, crew, let's settle down. If you got a cup of tea, tell I'm going to visit the UK in a couple of months. So if you got a cup of tea or whatever it is that you're wanting to use to relax with, I'm all about it. Use it and just chill out with me. Just let's hang out like we're hanging out in a coffee shop, and let's hang out like, we're friends, because I'm going to share a lot of personal things. Why do I feel I want to share a lot of personal things? Because I feel it's important. I feel it's important because it was interesting. I had a comment the other day actually on Instagram, and I can't even remember who it was, but it was like, I don't even know whether to take all your information that serious, because you always promote billionaires and people like that. And that was an interesting comment, right? It was an interesting comment. And it made me think a lot. And why do I promote billionaires? Well, I don't always promote billionaires, so that statement was way off. But besides that, I promote and I love high performers. So in business, if we were to look at the highest performers, isn't that a billionaire? Right. If we were to look at MMA, martial arts, right? If we were to look at the top UFC champion or one championship champion, right? They're the best. And if we were to look at a Wimbledon champion, right, we'd find the person who's just won Wimbledon. They're the best. And so when we start looking at what I'm really passionate about, I'm really passionate about high performance, peak performance. And it's such a misunderstood genre because it just works into mindset. But the truth is, I'm going to fix your mindset, but what's that really about? No, I'm going to make you perform at your absolute best and give you tools and tactics and strategies to build your unconscious mind or your body mind or your automatic behaviors, right? So you can step into the unknown and perform at your ultimate you every time, guaranteed fact. And that is your growing a business or stepping into uncharted waters is the most important thing, because it doesn't matter what skill set you've got. If your brain is not wired correctly and you're not in mental mastery, then this isn't going to work out, right? Does that make sense? So that leads me to number one. Number one, little drum roll. Number one of, as you can tell, I'm still working out the name of this episode, right? So number one of my 2023 hacks is stop chasing. Stop chasing things and stop chasing the logic or the funnels or the clients, right? Because it doesn't matter what funnel you have built out. It does not matter how good that sales copy is. Well, I shouldn't say it doesn't matter, because it does matter how important it is. But the biggest thing is, it's you. You are the biggest thing. So stop chasing the logic. And what happened this year was I started to move into I do a lot of marketing, obviously, but I started to really move into that world. And I kind of forgot that got me well known across the world and being recognized as one of the top performance coaches in the world. And what was it? Well, it was I switched on my logic brain. Too much. Well, what got me here was purely listening to my instincts, my emotional intelligence, right? My frequency, my brightness, my intelligence, all of those things are what got me here. But what I moved away from is thinking that a logical system was how I was going to hit that next stage of growth or business. And it's a part of it, right? But it is not it. How many people do you know out there that have got badass looking funnels, but they don't earn any money? Right? Because people feel the realness, right? That's why these days in marketing, people just want to see you. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to see all this shiny bling bling thing. They just want to see you and what you can do. And if they resonate with you, if they like what you're showing them, then they're going to look at doing some work with you. It's that simple, man. It's that simple. So number one is stop chasing in general, but stop chasing the logic and the funnel and just be you and get you out to the world. It's so much more powerful. Sound good? Awesome. So what's number two? Let's do it. Number two is trust yourself. It's your brand. So this year I had many people, right, come around me. I've had for many years the people come around me and marketers especially, right? And we'll get into marketers in a few minutes. But people come around me and they see the brand, they see who I am, they see who I've worked with, and then they go, I want a piece of that. And what they do is they give their opinions. And there's nothing wrong with their opinions. I'm sure they're very good opinions. In fact, there were some brilliant opinions. But they weren't my opinions. They weren't my instincts. They weren't my thoughts. So it's very easy as you're going through life in general, because business is about life and business, right? That you have to trust you. And it's so easy when you've got a lot of people around you telling you to go left, right, up, down, just move this way, pivot this way, do that, do this. Here's a new marketing thing. Try this, do that. And you go, whoa. And you start to try them all and do them all and spread yourself too thin. And then where does it get most people in the end? Not much further than where they started, or, where they started. And it's just a shame. So what I learned this year is to really unapologetically trust myself. Because it's my brand, right? And if it's my brand and I want to help as many people as I can who are ready to get helped and scale towards freedom, right? Then I need to trust who I am and lead it the way I want to lead it. Does that make sense? So for you out there, who's pulling you a different way? When you have these instincts and these images and these thoughts and these feelings that keep popping in your head and they're pulling you a different way or a different perspective, why don't you trust that? Right? Because if you did, then everything would go to where you want it to go. But you might be going, Andy, I've done this in the past and I've made mistakes. Yeah, good. Good. I'm glad you made mistakes. I am. Because making mistakes means that you're not going to make them anymore, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Making mistakes means that you've got more wisdom. You've got more perspectives. You know what you like, you don't like, right? You know what you need to upskill on. Like you do. Like for me, I'm great on camera, right? I'm great on stage. I'm great on video. I'm great on audio. Well, I'm all right, But what I'm not the best at is writing, because I have a lot of dyslexia, and writing gets very confusing. So, but what do I know? I know that I need to upskill my copywriting, because it's a way to deliver what's inside of me out to verbally through message, right? And text. And the thing is about my platform I really use a lot besides the podcast is Facebook. Doesn't matter what people think of Facebook. Facebook's a solid tool. And so will I be using the other platforms? Yeah. But I've got my base built on Facebook. So what I want to make sure is that I want to use the language of Facebook optimally. And that is text and images. It just is, right? Just is. Well, the platforms are moving towards like TikTok, towards obviously it's video. Instagram's very confusing. I don't think it knows what it is anymore. It's trying to push videos, but people want text and images. I don't know what's going on. But what I do know is I need to up-level my copywriting. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's a focus for the new year, because then I can share my message linguistically much more powerfully. Sound good? Awesome. So what do you need to upskill in? What do you need to solve as a bottleneck in your business and life? Have a think. Number 3. That was a very loud drum roll. I appreciate that. But number 3 is you must lead everything. I think I was a little close to the microphone then. But you must lead everything. Often I've seen in founders' businesses when I work with them that there's either them or the business partner wants to outsource or create a team way too early. Do you know what I mean? Way too early. Or they want to, like for example, what was I just talking about? My copywriting, right? With a little tricky with dyslexia. But guess what? Part of me wants to outsource all of that copywriting. And the truth is, it's not my words then. Do you know what I mean? It's people are going to feel it differently. And I keep going back to this feeling, right? This frequency, vibration. What is this woo-woo, Andy? Well, I just really believe there's a vibration of frequency that comes from us. And we can talk the neuroscience. We can go wherever you want, the behavioral psychology, the neuroscience. We can go down the neuro-linguistic programming concept. But what I'm talking about is slightly different. And every digital entrepreneur knows what this is, even if you can't put it into words, right? There is a frequency, there is a vibration, there is something going on in the universe, the world, that we can tap into. And if we're on fire and loving what we're doing, as in we are leading our brand with the right mission, and the mission is to go and help 1,000 people or whatever it is, right? Let's get these people free. For me, that's what it is, right? If you're growing, I want to join in with you on this growth spurt so we can fast track your results, turn what was 12 months into 3 months, and really get you freedom as fast as possible. And that might be you changing roles. It might be you just optimizing your brain and your thinking to the highest level, like a world champion athlete, right? On game day. That's what we need. Then that's what we need, right? That's what I do. So when we look about leading everything in your business, it means that we have to master those skills and take full responsibility. Does that make sense? So taking full responsibility, does that mean I'm not going to sell? I need to bring in a salesperson. Sure, bring them in. But do you have the experience to know how to get the sale? Because then you can train the people in the sale, right? Or you can work with them to dial in the system so you then can do what? Yeah, systematize the sale so you can then repeat the sale, right? In the same structure. So taking responsibility of every area, and that includes ads, right? Don't just trust someone to run your ads if you're running ads, because well, then you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, I'm telling you, they don't know what they're doing. They're testing and measuring to see what works. But if you don't have skin in the game and you're just trusting somebody else, then I'm telling you, if something happens to them, you're going to be left at stage one. So take full responsibility. It's your brand. It's the game you're playing. So make sure that you're really good at it. And if you're not good at it now, then keep getting better. There's no race. There's no rush. Just keep building. Number 4. Okay, number 4 is going to marketers. And, this was definitely some of my mistakes this year. It's actually been quite a few years I've trusted marketers and brought them on. And they have not performed. Let's say that, right? They have not performed. And I take full responsibility from my side. I should have... I don't know what I should have done, to be honest. If you look back, I hired one of the biggest companies that are in the internet marketing space that provide closers, and they provide setters, and they provide training. Well, I got out after 1 month because I started to hear horror stories that the sales setters and the closers that they were providing were terrible. Do you know what I mean? So that broke trust in me. So I walked away, and I'm very glad I did, because it was quite a high ticket that they were charging, but I learned a lot of stuff. I learned a lot of stuff from their training at the start, right, which was great. But I learned more about myself. And so marketers these days, anybody can be a marketer. You can do a course, you can write some great sales copy, but what most of these marketers, probably 90% of them, that's a made-up stat, by the way, but like 93.6% of them think they are a black belt, but they are a white belt. You might have heard me use this analogy before, but I love this analogy, right? So because they've got some sales, because they had a unicorn client maybe that blew up, because they were going to blow up no matter what, then they think they understand how to get you results. But the truth is they don't. I hired young, pumped up, clever marketers. They didn't work. I've hired older, savvy marketers. They didn't work, right? So what is it? Yes, it's partly about me, again, taking full responsibility, but it's really about them, not really giving a shit, and what they care about is closing another deal. Had that experience? Right. You become another number. That initial sale is what they're after. They don't really care about providing the service to the highest level because they kind of tie you into contracts. So what I want to give you a little bit of advice before you hire any marketing company. Now, it's different when you're working with coaches and people like that because you team up, right? And you go at things together. But a marketing company or an agency, they really are testing and measuring what might or might not work. But it's your money, right? It could be your ad budget, it's your time. And the truth is, what I want to say to you is, it's all flexible. The money's flexible. The payment system's flexible with these guys. And it's a case of you want to make sure that you put a clause in, like a 4-week clause that you can get out of, do something, right? So when you look at agencies that way, then understand you must always be in power, in control. Do you know what I mean? Always be in control. It's you. You're their client, not the other way around, because none of them have magic. They do not have magic. But doesn't mean they're terrible. It just means they don't have magic. So whatever they say, realize it's going to be a way ton more work than you think. The results are probably going to be slower. But I just want you to be safe. And it doesn't mean they can't do what they're doing. It just means that don't expect what they say to happen instantly. Expect it that you're going to have to take full responsibility and charge, and just make sure that you're safe. So number 5, more drum rolls. I know these are crazy drum rolls. Even my microphone's rattling. But Anyway, number 5 of my badass hacks for 2023. Still coming up with a title for this one. I get it. Number 5. It's a good one for me, and this is what I've done the past couple of weeks, or it will be a couple of weeks. Slow down and take your time. There is no rush. Slow your roll down, right? Because what we have to understand is business and life is about connections. It's about ideas. We get paid from our imagination and our creativity. That's what we get paid for as digital entrepreneurs, right? And this is going to lead us towards freedom, which is why we need to fast track this for you. But the truth is you need to slow down. And that means if you've been rushing from this thing to this thing to this thing to this thing to this thing, testing this, trying this, running here, doing this, then you're probably out of what we call homeostasis, right? You're out of balance. And so balance doesn't just mean you're Mr. Miyagi on that. You know when he does the crane kick on the beach? You've seen it where he's showing Daniel San sees it for the first time? You can tell I've been watching a lot of Cobra Kai and stuff. Yeah, I get it. Right, so, but that moment, man, right? That's all about balance. So if you're out of balance, then this isn't going to work out for you. And none of the tactics and strategies are going to work out for you. And so what you need to do is understand there is a natural flow to everything. Natural flow to a river, right? A natural flow to life. A natural flow to nature. Nature doesn't rush to grow, but it grows. And we underestimate what we can do in a year. Actually, the other way around. We overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in 2, or overestimate what we can do in 90 days and underestimate what we can do in 12 months, whatever you want to say. But the truth is just slow down. Get back in touch with this inner emotion, this inner driver, the real reasons why you're building this business, and start to gain clarity again. Because often we take too many things on, we get overwhelmed with the dynamics, and then what happens is it just all becomes noise. Do you know what I mean? It all becomes noise, and that's no good. So slow down, take some time to yourself as much as you can. Get clear on what that vision is. Feel that ambition, that drive, that excitement, that passion to take action once more. Find that, and then you're going to be back into that flow very quickly. Does that make sense? So are you doing this in your own life? Are you running in circles? Well, again, you know now what to do. Number 6. Number 6 is growth in your business requires growth in you first. I'll say it again. Growth in your business requires you to grow first. Absolutely, right? You have to grow and expand your version of reality. You have to grow and expand the version of you that you are stepping into 2023. Do you know what I mean? If I said to you, you can earn $2 million in 2023, what's that initial reaction? Not your second one. What's that first reaction? Is it you don't believe it? Is the feeling fear? Is the feeling excitement, but you don't believe it? What's going on? What's that first thought and reaction when I say you can earn $2 million in 2023? Some of you might be going, yeah, absolutely, I'm earning more than that now. Or absolutely, I can do that and make that happen. Some of you are going, whoa, I got to do this, and other, and do this and do that before I get to be able to do that. Does that make sense? So what was my number 1? Yeah, stop chasing logic in the funnel, right? So growth in your business requires you to grow first. So what does that mean? You have to expand what you believe is possible. You have to get so used to becoming that ultra version of you that's what I do in the Unfair Advantage Bootcamp. We build you into that superhuman, that Navy SEAL, that Jedi in 90 days. And so you can then step into the next stage of your life, and you've got this skill set already. We just need to optimize you, right? So you need to grow you. So what audios are you listening to? Hopefully lots of the podcast. Yes, hopefully lots of this. But what movies are you watching? What books are you reading? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you programming your brain every day with hypnosis, right? Are you doing these things? You can get, by the way, right now, if you go to andymurphy.online or unfairadvantage.online, get the pack. There's a hypnosis in there for you from your morning. So sort your morning out. It's called the 5-Mind Morning. Go and get it. It's free right now. And I'm about to not make it free. Well, I'm about to take it away from you. So go and get it. So back to that point. Growth in the business requires growth in you first. So make sure that you're ready to carry the weight or the wave of this next stage of your life and business in 2023. Number 7. Number 7 is everyone needs to be vibrating high in your business. So what does that mean? Yes, as we could talk about this another time in way more depth, but there is an energetic magnetism, right? There is to the universe. We've all felt it. We know what it's like when we're kicking ass, we're on point, we're vibing high. We know more good ideas come, people come, doors open. We also know what it's like when we're being Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. You know Eeyore, right? Eeyore. That's a donkey. I don't know where that came from, but Eeyore is a donkey. But more importantly, he's a negative, pessimistic donkey that nobody wants to be around, including Eeyore, right? So you got to make sure that everyone's on your team is vibing high. They're excited, they're pumped up, they got a clear vision, they know what they're doing, and you, again, are leading them. What was my number 3? You must lead everything, including your team. Team could be 1 person, 2 people, or 200 people. Doesn't matter. Lead your team. And if you can lead your team, then they're going to be high vibing. Why? Because you're high vibing. Why are you high vibing? Because you had to grow. Remember the last one, number 6? Yeah, you had to grow and expand into the new uncharted blue oceans of the next stage in your brand so everyone can come with you. It's so important. It's so important. So that's number 7. Do whatever is required. Come and have a chat with me. I can sort your team out very, very quickly. But whatever it is that you need to do to be able to get to that next stage and make sure that your business and everyone in it is vibing high. Sound good? Beautiful. Let's jump to number 8. This is an interesting one. Happiness is more important than money. I'll say it again. I paused for a moment. I did it on purpose. Happiness is more important than money. It's true. It's the absolute truth, right? Doesn't mean money's not important. Money's awesome and money is important. But money's only important after you're happy. If you're thinking money's going to make you happy, good Lord, it's not. It's just not. I've seen it at the highest level. I've experienced it in my own life. It's not, right? That shiny new car will give you pleasure. It definitely does that until your dopamine wears off. And guess what's left? Yeah, you're left. And if you're not happy, then you're going to constantly be in a search for dopamine. And if dopamine comes from negative, it comes from positive, it comes from new and novelty. So that can lead you into dangerous waters. It can lead you into bad places. It also can lead you to results. But the truth is, if we're not on track and we're not aligned, then and we're not doing all of the other hacks that I said today, then your happiness you're not going to get it. So work on your happiness. How do you work on your happiness, Andy? Well, a few different ways, right? Be present. Learn how to be present. Learn how to be still. Learn how to be not in the future and the past. Learn how to calm your nervous system. Learn how to change your brain waves. Learn how to put yourself around amazing people. Learn how to listen to your instincts again. Learn how to be you. Unapologetically, not what society tells you to do or be. Unapologetically, just be you. Because if you're you, then you're going to be happy. If you're being pulled off on a tangent, if you've taken too much responsibility on, if you've got lost and need clarity, if you're stuck in an income stream that doesn't serve you, if you're getting frustrated at the stage of business that you're at, then all of these things mean that you're not going to be happy externally, and you're definitely not going to be happy internally. So become happy internally through presence and also gratitude. Gratitude, yeah, it sounds so stupid and cheesy these days because everyone talks about this stuff. But again, white belt, black belt, right? Doesn't mean they're black belts. I'm around a purple belt on this one, right? Because we're all getting better at becoming happy and full of gratitude. The way I look at gratitude is like this, because as a digital entrepreneur, we start to, we're projecting into the future so much, right? And it becomes, we take this weight on, it's very important. My business is very important. Yeah, it's very important, well, to you. Do you know what I mean? But everyone's got one and it's very important to them. But you know what's more important than all of those things is your family and the people that you spend the most time with every day. Because if they were not there, or someone got sick, what's the most important thing now? Yeah, right? So be fucking grateful. Be grateful for who you got around you that puts up with your ass, right? Be grateful for those around you that love you, that care for you, that are your teammates, that they're going on a journey with you. I'm not saying anyone's perfect. I'm far from perfect, but I'm really doing my best to become the ultimate version of me in every capacity. So for you, happiness is more important than massive money. So become happy. Number nine is awesome. You can scale and it can be easy. Yes, you can scale and it can be easy. You can get freedom and it can be easy. You can automate your business and it can be easy, right? You can exit and it can be easy. You can start your business and it can be easy. You can get your first clients and it can be easy. Whatever it is, it can be easy. It's true. Yeah, but what about this and this and this? It's merely perspective. Merely perspective. Everything's perspective. And it's about mental mastery. Can you handle the pressure that is happening as you grow? Can you handle it? If you can't handle it, then you've got to have a little look inside of why you can't handle it. Because it can be easy, right? There's this old classic story about a billionaire. And I think it was actually going back, so it's 2008, right? When the last crash was happening. And that was a bad one, by the way. This one's not bad, right? I know it's a crash and they keep talking about it, but everything keeps going. Everything keeps going. But 2008, things were crashing. Billionaire. Everything was going wrong. Everyone was panicking inside of the business to come and say, you got to come to this meeting. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then, do you know what he did? He went on vacation. He went on holiday. And people were like, what are you doing? This is the most crucial time of the business's life. What are you doing? What are you doing? And he gives it, well, I'm going away from this whole thing because everything always works out. And me being involved in the wrong frequency, mindset, whatever you want to call it, is only going to cause chaos. So I'm going away from this situation and let the chaos calm so then I can work out what was going on. And guess what? Everything was fine. So you can scale and it can be easy. You can get your clients and it can be easy. You can get the funding, it can be easy. You can do your first 100 grand and it can be easy. You can do your first $1 million, it can be easy. You can do whatever it is. You can find the teammates, get the salespeople, find the product. It can be easy if you choose it to be easy. But that's what mental mastery is all about, right? That's why I want to give you the unfair advantage. It's because most people can't handle it. But if you can, then you are a black belt. And that's what we want to do for you. So number 10, proper drum roll. Should have been drumming there, not by the mic, hey, all the time. But anyway, number 10 is the most important one of my lessons and my hacks for 2023. Well, do you want to know what it is? Do you want to know? Oh, you might. Enjoy your life. None of this matters. Enjoy your life. None of this matters. We get taught again by society in the matrix that this is important. You must get this level of success. You must get this level of money. You must think this way. You must do this. That's people who are living in the matrix that want to get out of the matrix, right? People who are in the matrix don't even know there's a matrix, right? But if you're listening to this and you're running a digital business, you've got one foot, maybe a shoulder or two, nearly maybe the second one out of the matrix. What my mission is to get you out of the matrix, right? But on the way to doing all these things is enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. None of this matters. And I go back to my grandma. I've mentioned this many times on the podcast and many clients, and it's kind of a little famous statement. But it was 4 weeks before she passed away. And my grandma was quite special. She wasn't educated, but she'd read thousands of books about everything and knew a lot of stuff. I used to talk to her up until, she'd had multiple strokes. But before that, I used to talk to her about astrophysics, quantum physics, spirituality, all of this stuff right up until she was 86 years old. Think about that. And I asked her on her deathbed, 4 weeks before she passed away. I said to her, okay, Nan, okay, Grandma, here you are lying on your deathbed at 86 years old. What's the golden nuggets of life? It makes me emotional every time I speak about this. What's the golden nuggets of life? And she paused. She turned slowly and looked at me and said, none of this matters. I said, what do you mean none of this matters? And she said, do you think any of the things that you've been stressed about, worried about, the grudges you've held, the resentment that you've held, the things you've accomplished, the things that you didn't, do you think any of that matters at all in the slightest when you're lying on your deathbed at 86 years old? The answer is no. Now, for some people, they might go, well, what's the point in trying? Might as well just give up. What's the point? None of it matters. But digital entrepreneurs like you, we take it a different way. And what we say is, well, then why wouldn't I give it everything I've got to see what I can accomplish while I'm still here on earth? That's why none of this matters. So I can give it all. I can give it my all. I can give it everything I've got. Does that make sense? So think about that. So there's my top 10 hacks learned from 2022 so you can have an amazing 2023 with me. And hey, hopefully you love them. Please go back, listen to them again. Please go and write me a review somewhere. Spotify. You can write me a review on iTunes. Write me a review somewhere. That's all I ask, right? But that's it. The end of episode 396. We are closer and closer to episode 400, which I'm really, really pumped about. That's a big milestone. So keep kicking ass, keep sharing this, and have an amazing week. And I will see you in the new year. 2023. Crazy. Make sure that you're hanging out with me in the Facebook group. Making sure that you're heading over to andymurphy.online or unfairadvantage.online and getting your performance system pack right now. You've got badass videos, badass audios, and a full-on training in there that's going to change your life. And remember, the secret sauce is your unconscious mind, and we can tune it up in the morning, and you've got a free hypnosis audio in there. So go and get that now. What else? Well, much love until the new year, 2023. Keep kicking ass, and oh yeah, one more thing. Why don't you smile for me?
Thanks so much for listening to today's episode of the Mindset by Design podcast with your host and NLP expert, Andy Murphy. We'll catch you next time.